All right, let's get a check with your weather of meteorologist Thomas Keyboy. And Thomas, it's another cold one today.
It really is, and we're talking about a system that's also moving through, so there will be the chance for wet weather in the northern half of the state and the eastern half of the state. We also could find some wet weather even stretching as far down as the central mountains. Meanwhile, for those of you in the southwestern half of the state, your day is going to be relatively quiet, but definitely on the chilly side. But we get the chance for a round of rain and snow. Got another cold night that's in store for tonight, but after tonight, we will start to go on a warming trend across the state as we move into the upcoming weekend. But for today, we got this system moving in. It's going to be going from northwest down to southeast. So again, the best chance for wet weather is going to be in the northern half of the state and the eastern half of the state. And as we go throughout the next couple of hours in the northern half of the state, snow levels are expected to drop below 5,000 feet, meaning the valleys could find some snow. However, any accumulations of above an inch likely going to be for the benches and higher than that. But right now, here's the current view from Solitude. Got some pretty heavy snow out there this morning, so our mountains will be finding more times of snow. We're not going to be finding the accumulations that we saw earlier this week, but definitely an extra few inches definitely going to be a possibility as we go throughout, especially the first half of the day. And right now we're finding rain in Salt Lake Valley. We're also finding the times of rain showers in the lower elevations. Meanwhile, as you travel up into the mountains, we are finding snow, and we're going to be seeing more of this as we go throughout the rest of the morning into the early stages of the afternoon. So as you're heading out the door, make sure that you're giving yourself plenty of time, as there will be some slick streets out there. And if you're heading up into the mountains with extra accumulations up there, again, that could make some travel treacherous. But we'll begin the Futurecast 7 o'clock this morning, and we'll take you through the day, where we'll be looking at rain and snow in the northern half of the state, possibly some snow even down into the central mountains, and in the eastern half of the state we'll also have that chance for some wet weather. The best chance for wet weather is really going to be from now through around midday, but with some lake enhancement we could continue to see the chance for wet weather along the Wasatch Front as we go through the early afternoon. But by late afternoon, by 4 o'clock, majority of any wet weather likely going to be in the eastern extent of the state, and then we'll be drying out as we go from tonight into tomorrow morning. But with this system moving in, this is also going to send a reinforcing shot of cold air. Going to be cold tomorrow, and then the warming trend begins as we go into your Friday afternoon. But when we talk about snowfall accumulations, it's unlikely that we're going to be seeing any significant accumulations from the benches and lower. And in the valleys, we could see anywhere from a trace to an inch. And keep in mind, if we do see any accumulations in the valleys, if we do see that change over to snow, it's mainly going to be on grassy surfaces and elevated surfaces. Meanwhile, on the benches could find anywhere from a trace to around 2 inches, mountain valleys 1 to 3, and in the mountains 3 to 6. But depending on how those bands set up, wouldn't be completely surprised if we do see some totals above that 6-inch mark. But for today, we're going to go with the daytime high of 45 degrees in Salt Lake City. So by the afternoon, if we do find any snow throughout the morning, that's going to change back over into rain. So it's going to be a chilly and breezy day. Meanwhile, down in St. George, a high of 65, and with sunshine in the southwestern half of the state, not going to be feeling too bad down there. But with tonight, with that northerly wind, we'll see those temperatures fall quickly, and overnight lows will be falling to near freezing in Salt Lake City. So the Wasatch Front will have the potential for freezing temperatures, and it will even have the potential for upper 30s down in St. George. It is going to be cold tonight, but after tonight, we'll start to see those temperatures moderating. In St. George, you can see that here reflected on the 7-day forecast. Middle 60s today, upper 60s for your Friday, and then lower to middle 70s for this weekend. It is going to be a beautiful weekend down in St. George. Along the Wasatch Front, rain and snow showers for today with the best chance for wet weather during the first half of the day. Also going to be breezy with a high of 45. Tonight we drop to near freezing in Salt Lake City. Then we'll see the temperature climb to 52 tomorrow, upper 50s for your Saturday, and then temperatures will return to the middle 60s for your Sunday. So we will see that temperature getting close to seasonal averages by the time we get towards the end of this upcoming weekend.